If you watched my last video about how moving to Portugal forced me to build my online presence, you know I had a wake-up call when I realized that the US dollar was probably going to continue to drop, and I live in Europe and I pay my bills in euros. And I was making money in USD. So I really had to take the initiative to start to diversify my income because I did not move to Portugal retired. I still have to work. So here's what I didn't tell you. I actually knew how to do LinkedIn marketing because I've been doing it for clients for years. The problem was I was absolutely terrible about doing any type of marketing for myself. And that can cost me if I don't stop doing that. So I made the change to really look into LinkedIn marketing for me and my business in January. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact LinkedIn marketing framework that kind of saved my business and why every expat entrepreneur, I hate the word expat, do your own research about the history of the word, but for every immigrant or entrepreneur, you need to master this skill. So let's get into it. So again, the embarrassing truth is that I've been doing digital marketing for 20 years for my clients, or 25 years for my clients, and I just didn't feel like doing it for myself. So my LinkedIn profile before January didn't exist. I had no desire to be on LinkedIn. I didn't want to do it. I didn't do it. But whatever platform you decide to create content on, you need to go where your customers are. So for me, it was LinkedIn. You have to create consistent content, and it has to be optimized for the keyword you want to be associated with. We all know that. I just wasn't doing it. But as this exchange rate started to get a little scary, I was like, Cinnamon, you see things are changing, you might want to start to pivot. So again, I did that in January. So I created content for months and to get optimized and to finally show up in search. So this is not something you do tonight and then it works tomorrow. You have to start planting the seeds today. Now, here's the reality for immigrants, and honestly, even if you're not living abroad, the competition to get jobs, whether it be in the US or all over, is increasing substantially. So you need something online to show people that that you're just saying what you do, you're actually showing that. And because majority of the type of clients that I want would be on LinkedIn, that was where I started. So in this video, we're talking about LinkedIn. When you move abroad, especially out of your home country's economic system, your income is now subject to exchange rate fluctuations, not to mention whatever you will get taxed on based on your home country and where you decide to move. I really had to take the time to do for me what I was getting paid to do for other people. I had to build what I call a geographic proof business, and LinkedIn was going to be my primary weapon. YouTube is my second primary weapon, but I'll do that in a separate video. Today, we're talking about LinkedIn in this video. So where a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners get wrong is they think LinkedIn as a marketing tool, but they just create random content and kind of hope for the best. Or they know who their ideal client is. They scrape all their information and spam them to death. That's not what we're going to do either. That's not marketing. That's just noise and annoyance when you are spamming people who don't know you. I posted every weekday for 4 months, but it wasn't just random posting. Every single post had a formula. So let's go over the formula. First, I had a hook, a specific problem my ideal client faced. Second, I had the story or the context, brief example or case study. Next, I had the solution, a step-by-step actionable advice. Implementation, how they could start today. It was really important to me that I'm just not putting out motivational quotes or things that don't matter. I want to tell my ideal client what their problem they may be facing and then give them something that based on my expertise, I know they can implement in their business because I've done it for other people. For example, instead of just posting something generic like lead generation is important, I'd write something like your B2B leads aren't converting because you're asking for the sale too early. Here's the 3-touch sequence that increase our clients' conversion rate by 127%. And then I'd break down the exact sequence. So if you're taking the case studies, if you're working with clients or things you already know in your discipline and putting that into your post, it shows you know what you're actually talking about. Step 2, keyword optimization for global reach. Now, if you want a global business or a location independent lifestyle, you need to optimize for international search. Now, here's my strategy. You want to put your primary keywords in your headline. So of course, with me, I did marketing, AI automation solutions, made sure it was B2B lead generation. And I also put US, EU markets. Now you want to be location agnostic language. Like you wouldn't say here in America. You would say things like in today's market or in this global economy. If you do speak another language or you're interested in, let's say, getting a business in France or in Germany, be sure to write content and post in both languages. This will include the variations you need for your international clients and what they may search for. Be time zone aware. I schedule posts in both the US morning as well as the European afternoon. I know that posting every day sounds very overwhelming, but I'm going to show you my secret weapon. I built an AI LinkedIn post generator trained on my methodology, my client cases, my industry insights, problems that my target audience tends to have. And you can do this with ChatGPT or Claude. You don't need my system. You can just go to ChatGPT and upload it, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You want to make sure you're training the AI on your service descriptions, your client case studies, common client questions, and your unique methodology. Get all those documents together. You can get them in a PDF or a text file. What I would do is every Sunday, whether it be, I do it during breakfast or in the middle when I'm just relaxing or finished cleaning up the apartment, I'd plan my week of what post I wanted to put on LinkedIn for the week. So I may think of what questions the clients asked me this week. Were there any wins that I wanted to share, industry news that I wanted to comment on, and then I would generate 5 posts. Usually it takes about an hour every Sunday for me to schedule the whole week. You want to make strategic connection outreach. Now, where most people fail in LinkedIn is they connect immediately and then they try to pitch or become highly annoying before they even know what their client needs. Instead, I like to use value first type of connecting. I identify target companies, research their challenges, see what type of positions that they're hiring for. Then I may send a connection request with a link to one of my posts that solve a specific issue or problem that they have. Now, how would I know what type of problem they have? If you hone down who your ideal client is, they experience the same type of problems. So although it seems like I read their mind, I didn't. I just have enough people in this industry to know that these are common problems or issues that continue to occur. And I send them some insight that will be helpful. No ask, no pitch, just I saw your post on lead generation challenges. I wrote a brief strategy that worked similar for a client of mine, thought it might be useful. Something easy like that. So now it's August, and when that dollar started dropping, I was so happy that I made the right choice and I did what I needed to do in January so that I can already have people from various parts of the world contacting me because I did the work months prior. And that's kind of why I'm talking about this, because if you're going to do this, you need to implement and do the work now. It does not happen overnight. I saw myself coming up for search for whether it be digital marketing consultant, AI automation, those type of keywords that I wanted to be associated with. Now I'm showing up in people's searches and people are contacting me specifically and directly. I also signed up for freelancing sites in the US, UK, and Europe, and I started getting inquiries from all 3 regions. I want to make sure I'm everywhere I can possibly be to make sure that I can diversify the services that I offer to make sure I'm good. But understand this only worked because I treated LinkedIn like it was a marketing channel and not a social network. Now, building your LinkedIn presence is just the foundation. Like I said, I also use YouTube as well, and I'll show you how to do that in the next couple videos. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe so you'll be alerted when that video comes out. The real magic happens when you kind of combine with the right freelancing skills that international clients actually pay for. And next week, I'll be breaking down the 5 specific skills I developed while living in Portugal that made me really, truly location independent as things progress. That video hopefully will help you change the way you're thinking about a portable career. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn post generator. This isn't the one that I use. I actually built this one for a client, but I could still show you how it works. This is built on a Google Doc. And in the back of the Google Doc, I have a series of code. I created a Google Cloud function that has all the information, in this case, on the client. It has his case studies. It has information from his website. It has everything that runs his business. And he's a CEO that gets a lot of his leads from LinkedIn. So I trained the Google Cloud function with Claude is the large language model I used for his. And so you use Google Docs to basically put in your input here, the type of post and the call to action, and then it will generate a LinkedIn post. So let me show you how that works. So this client actually works with a bunch of CEOs, and he trains the internal staff to become consultants so they don't have to pay that outside to other very expensive organizations. He also trains consultants to be better consultants when they're working with these Fortune 500 companies. The content request is the information that you want to include in the post that you would know because it's your industry. So from this client, one of the issues is getting your consultant fees when there's economic challenges in the world. So I'll put something like this. So convincing CEOs to hire you as a consultant, even when shareholders are encouraging expense reduction. Now the call to action. Okay, so I'm just throwing in something random. And so we say convincing CEOs to hire you as a consultant, even when shareholders are encouraging expense reduction. So if your target audience is a bunch of consultants, this may be their issue, and you're going to explain how that works. Now, again, the beauty is that I've already kind of coded this with the Google Cloud function in the back end. The Google Doc is just going to be the interface. So we're going to put the post type. And if you don't know the various types of posts, you can see here, show post types. And here are the available types that I created. So the problem solution, this addresses any pain point and provides a solution. Common misconceptions, case studies, step-by-step, framework, personal story, where you're sharing your personal story, contrarian take, various things. I'm just going to do problem and solution. So I'm actually going to copy this really quickly. And I'm going to put this into the type of post. And so I'm going to copy that right here. And so after I put all the information, you can put statistical information in here. You can put whatever you want to be included in the post. And then we come back here to the custom menu, and we're going to click generate post. And so what this is doing is now creating the post. It's going to the Google Cloud function. It's going through the ad. It's processing all the data for the client, and it's going to produce the results. Okay, so we see finished script here, and then we will see. So problem to solution, that was the type. This is the date in which it was pulled in addition to the time. And all of your posts will continue to be here that you can look at them. You can edit from here. You can type and do exactly what you want. You can take this information. Why smart CEOs are hiring consultants when shareholders are screaming, cut costs. It's like bringing in a personal trainer when your doctor says lose weight or face serious health problems. The pressure is real. Shareholders want cuts everywhere. But here's what I learned from helping dozens of CEOs navigate this exact situation. The ones who survive downturns don't just cut costs. They cut costs while positioning growth. The challenge is shareholders demanding immediate expense reduction, board meetings focus on quarterly numbers, blah, blah, blah. This is based on the information that he gave, and it's going to give an answer based on that information. So this is the LinkedIn generator. So I basically do about 5 to 7 of these a week. You can just copy this. I'm not going to copy the whole thing, but copy this, come over here to LinkedIn, paste it, and schedule it. And you just schedule it. And that's basically what I would do every Sunday. I've been doing that since January. And you saw how quick it was. You type in your insight, you type the information that you want based on your expertise. The Google Cloud function will deliver the information back into your Google Doc. The great thing about this is it's already part of my workflow. I don't have to go log into some other website to get my information, already in my Google Drive. And when I make these for clients, I just program the Google Cloud function based on their information. So it's completely customizable. You don't need it. So let me show you how you can do it. Here's ChatGTP. So you see here it says add files. You can literally take the files from your website, your case studies, everything, and upload this to ChatGTP. Now, remember, ChatGTP may not be that secure. If you want it to be secure, you might want to use Microsoft Azure, which is backed by OpenAI. So keep that in mind. You add your files here, everything you have, and then you can ask Chat or Claude to create a LinkedIn post based on the information that you uploaded, and put the input as to what you want the LinkedIn post to be. If you don't want to build that, or you don't want to have to keep doing that after you do your LinkedIn post, I'll put a link so that if you want me to kind of build something for this for your business, I'll be happy to do that. So here are some of my posts. And again, I've been doing posts for months. So you're going to see like all of this stuff that has been going on for the past 4 months. So I'll also put a link to my LinkedIn if you just want to kind of look at my posts as inspiration. Don't go copying my posts, especially if you're not doing the same industry. It's not going to help you. Don't be weird. But if you want some ideas of what it looks like to create posts that talk about what your ideal client is suffering with and how you can create actual steps so that when they leave this post, when they finish reading, either A, they learn something so that they can go implement themselves, or they may not feel like implement it, so they end up DMing you and asking if you guys can hop on a call or you can do something like this in their business. Now, if you never put the content out there, people aren't going to know what you do. This, again, is something you have to do now, because it's going to take a while. This takes time. I would say at least 3 months before you start even showing up in search. This is going to be your portfolio and part of the assets that you're going to send to people when you're connecting with them, whether it be to get a contract, to get a job, to freelance, whatever it is. This is the portfolio you're building slowly over time. Don't get caught up in followers. Do not get caught up in impressions and all of that stuff. Make sure you are creating the content. Each form of content you create is an asset for your business. You want to use this as collateral because this is what you're going to use to help you secure business. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And next week, I'll talk to you about some other tools and tips and techniques in which you can create your location independent lifestyle. Till next time.